In June 2023, the Titan submersible, owned by OceanGate, suffered a fatal implosion while descending to the wreck of the Titanic, killing all 5 passengers aboard. Recently released underwater footage from the U.S. Coast Guard has revealed the remains of the submersible, including its tail cone, resting on the ocean floor. This footage coincides with ongoing investigations into the cause of the disaster, with key testimonies revealing the internal dysfunction at OceanGate, especially regarding safety concerns. One of the most significant witnesses to testify was David Lockridge, OceanGate's former operations director, who has been vocal about the safety issues within the company. Lockridge, who joined the company in the mid-2010s as an experienced submersible pilot and engineer, stated that he repeatedly raised concerns about the safety of the Titan. He highlighted the sub's unconventional design and voiced concerns over its readiness for deep-sea exploration. During his testimony, Lockridge expressed disappointment in the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, for failing to investigate his complaint, which he believed could have prevented the tragedy. He explained that, despite filing a formal complaint, OSHA had not acted on it even 8 months later, leading him to feel that the agency had failed in its duty to protect both the crew and the public. Lockridge was eventually fired after his continued resistance to signing off on what he perceived as a dangerously flawed vessel. Lockridge's relationship with OceanGate's leadership, particularly its co-founder Stockton Rush, was strained from the beginning. According to Lockridge, Rush and the company were primarily focused on profits rather than the scientific integrity of their missions or the safety of the Titan. He described a workplace culture driven by financial motives, where the urgency to send the submersible to the Titanic overshadowed critical safety concerns. Despite his expertise, Lockridge felt that his role at OceanGate was reduced to a public relations figure, used to lend scientific credibility to a project driven by commercial interests. In his testimony, Lockridge referenced a 2018 report in which he detailed numerous safety flaws in OceanGate's operations. He emphasized that he had no confidence in the Titan's construction or the processes behind its deployment, but his warnings were largely ignored by leadership. Employee turnover at the company was high, and Lockridge's efforts to push for safer operations were met with resistance from a leadership team that, in his view, made poor engineering decisions in their rush to capitalize on Titanic dives. Lockridge wasn't the only former employee to testify about OceanGate's troubling internal dynamics. Tony Neeson, the company's former engineering director, shared similar concerns. Neeson stated that he felt immense pressure from OceanGate's leadership to get the Titan into the water, despite serious reservations about its safety. Like Lockridge, Neeson refused to pilot the Titan at various points, citing a lack of trust in the company's operations staff. In fact, he had intervened in 2019 to stop the submersible from going to the Titanic, a decision driven by concerns about the sub's readiness and safety protocols. OceanGate, based in Washington state, suspended its operations following the Titan's implosion. The company has since come under intense scrutiny for its decision to deploy a vessel that had not been subjected to independent review, a standard practice in the submersible industry. The Titan's unique design, which deviated from traditional submersible construction methods, has been a point of contention within the undersea exploration community, with many experts questioning its viability for extreme deep-sea missions like the Titanic dives. The hearing into the Titan disaster also revealed that during the sub's final dive on June 18, 2023, communication between the crew and their support ship, the Polar Prince, was lost less than 2 hours into the descent. The last messages exchanged involved discussions about the sub's depth and weight. After losing contact, the Polar Prince sent multiple messages asking if the Titan could still see the ship on its onboard display, but received no response. Rescue operations were launched when the submersible was reported overdue, and the wreckage was eventually discovered approximately 300 meters from the Titanic's bow. Lockridge's testimony echoed that of other former employees, painting a picture of a company more concerned with commercial success than the safety of its operations. He described how OceanGate's leadership, particularly Stockton Rush, dismissed his concerns in favor of pushing forward with Titanic dives, despite clear evidence that the Titan was not ready for such missions. According to Lockridge, the company was impatient to monetize its submersible program, prioritizing profit over careful engineering and safety reviews. One of the most striking aspects of Lockridge's testimony was his account of how the company's leadership responded to safety complaints. Rather than addressing the issues he raised, OceanGate initiated legal action against Lockridge, who in turn filed a countersuit. Both lawsuits were eventually dropped, and Lockridge left the company, feeling that his efforts to prevent a disaster had been in vain. Lockridge wasn't the only former employee to clash with OceanGate's leadership. Multiple witnesses described Stockton Rush as volatile and difficult to work with some suggesting that his drive to make money overshadowed the company's scientific mission. These accounts contributed to a broader narrative of a troubled company where employee concerns were routinely dismissed and safety was compromised in the pursuit of financial gain. As the Coast Guard's Marine Board of Investigation continues to investigate the Titan disaster, additional witnesses are expected to testify, including OceanGate co-founder Guillermo Sondline and former scientific director Stephen Ross. However, Wendy Rush, Stockton Rush's widow and OceanGate's communications director, is notably absent from the witness list, despite having been actively involved in the company during Lockridge's tenure. Coast Guard officials declined to comment on why specific individuals were not called to testify, though they noted that multiple hearings may be necessary to fully understand the circumstances surrounding the Titan's implosion. OceanGate currently has no full-time employees, and the company has indicated that it will be represented by an attorney during the hearings. In addition to the Coast Guard's investigation, the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, is conducting its own inquiry into the incident. The tragic implosion of the Titan submersible has sparked global debate about the future of private undersea exploration. As the investigation continues, the testimony of individuals like David Lockridge and Tony Neeson offers valuable insight into the systemic issues that may have contributed to the disaster. Both men were experienced engineers who raised significant safety concerns, only to see their warnings go unheeded in the company's rush to achieve commercial success. Their accounts underscore the importance of rigorous safety standards and independent oversight in an industry where the stakes are as high as the depths of the ocean. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more updates on celebrity deaths and news updates.